Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
What a goddamn day for my mouse to not work. You bastards. Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast, everybody. This is not normally how we are, but it is a very hectic week. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by the beautiful, the wonderful, the most cuddly person I know, besides my wife.
Valid.
Casey the Madman Block.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, my glorious, wonderful friend. Mick, you do a fantastic job, and without you, this show would not be possible. You are the Scene Snob. I'm so grateful to, as always, with every week to be here with you, you beautiful, fantastic, wonderful human being. So thank you, and thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you, man, for coming. We're going to have a great time tonight. We got a lot of people joining. Jason has joined us. And
hi, Jason.
Their blood pressure is up. Guys, the best medicine for your blood pressure is listen to the Scene Snobs podcast every Tuesday.
Yep, that's medicine.
That is God's own. That is the old snake oil itself.
Yep, a good laugh will definitely keep another 10 years on your life.
The real dynamic duo, and the reason that we're the real dynamic duo is because Casey's a billionaire and I'm 40 years old.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And your body's as broken as he was after Bane.
And if nobody understands, in this scenario, I'm Robin because I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
And if nobody understands that, I actually took all of the sound bites of us talking about Batman Forever and put them together for a very special episode that will be coming out this week. So pay attention to it.
Yeah, super excited for it.
Like Jesse and the Rippers? Do we cause blood pressure to rise, just like Jesse and the Rippers does for ladies everywhere? And Japan for some reason?
Lord Almighty, I think their temperatures will rise.
That's true. We got a special episode for you guys tonight. If you didn't see at the beginning, and I don't know how you couldn't have because clearly I messed up, but we're announcing the Snobbie Awards nominees tonight. And also, we're doing a huge bracket for March Badness, as we call it.
Yes, we're going with the tough guys, the villains.
We're going to pick out our finalize our 64 and see if we can get to it in a quick time. But here's the fun part. We're going to be doing it live on the show for the next few weeks for March Badness. It is the top 64 villains going head-to-head until we get to one. And Casey and I will be arguing them.
Oh, yes.
And you, if you watch live, will get to pick the tiebreakers.
You get to have input. You will be important. You are important to our show. We love having you. But being here live and in the audience, I was going to say studio audience, but I guess it's a studio of sorts, a virtual studio. Members of our virtual studio audience will be able to help us choose who should be moving on to the next round in our brackets.
Well, I have a feeling. For some good reasons what it's going to be, but we'll get there. We have some topics tonight too, everybody, and I want to say hi to Kathleen. Thank you,
Kathleen. Hi, friend.
Appreciate it. Guys, can you talk about the fucking mess with Morbius and all these scenes cut? Like, what the fuck? It's something I haven't kept up with. Mm-hmm. I did hear that the end credit scene, one of the end credit scenes, sets up something massive. I don't know much about it. There's been a lot of news today. It's been a crazy news day, Case.
Yeah.
And I've been running because I've had to do all the graphics for the show. I've had all of the judges giving me all of the results for the Snobbie Awards, which we're going to go over the rules and all that stuff too once we get there. But for the most part, I've been doing that, trying to make the graphics, trying to get the graphics done. We're making lists for the March Badness. It's been crazy. And then I'm trying to keep up with all the news and updates I got to do.
Which decided to just pummel us in the last 2 days. I mean, there's plenty going on in the Ukraine still. Lots happening in the real world. And then tons of movie news. Morbius is just amazing. Getting all kinds of different reviews. So when I say amazing, it's just a whole lot of information and happening rapidly. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is. And AJ is saying no Vulture or Spider-Man graffiti in the movie. No Vulture or Spider-Man graffiti in the movie. I should separate those two. And Venom isn't in his universe. Well, I will tell you this: if it's all been a ruse, then you're going to have a lot of people freaking out, I'm sure. So we're going to have to see what happens, but I will keep an eye on that, talk about it some more, and I'll do some investigative work, but I don't know anything right now. So we'll do a Geek Fest Live once.
Sounds like a classic Sony gotcha move.
Yeah. Right. They give us no way home. And then they're just like, pull the wool.
Suckers. These are our characters now, and you're going to like it.
Yeah. Jump over to our side. It's been a day that's for sure. Absolutely. It really
well,
has.
Kathleen, you are a fantastic human being whom we love and appreciate. So I hope that your day is getting better.
So there you go. The day is better because you just saw Casey. Case, you know what's crazy? So last week, lots of things are crazy right now. Last week, we did a Geek Fest Live, and I talked about how I have to go to bed early to wake up early for a vasectomy.
Yes.
And boy, do I have a story for you.
Yeah, what happened about your vasectomy? Are your boys still intact?
Boys are very much intact.
Okay, good. I'm not really sure how it works. So it's not a castration thing, right?
No, it's not a castration thing. The vasect is a piece within the scrotum that they have to find, and they have to go and they have to take out a piece. It's an invasive surgery, but it's not a very involved surgery. I'm awake for the whole thing.
Yeah, they just get to burn it. You get to smell your flesh burning inside
of
your scrotum.
It's true. But here's the thing. I may not have gotten it done, but I definitely feel like Dudley at the bicycle shop. So, let that sink in, people. So I get there, right? I get to the office, and I'm like, all right, I'm here for my vasectomy. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Mary drops me off because you can't drive because you're going to be in a lot of pain afterwards. Yeah. So I get there. She drops me off because she has to drop the kids off at school and stuff. So I go into the back, and they go, all right, take off your pants, which, of course, that's part of the procedure.
No, I was going to say it's part of the party, but yeah, procedure, sure. Yeah.
So it actually did become a party. We're getting there. So I take off my pants, my shoes and stuff, and they're like, all right, lay down on this little bed that's ice cold. And,
still not hearing a downside.
It's getting there. It's getting there, buddy. So I do that, and now I'm just sitting on a table for minutes waiting for them to come in, a doctor and a nurse, completely pantless, naked as a jaybird from below, like it was my 7th birthday party again. I don't know. So at the janitor's office. But So we're sitting there, and they come in. Now I'm still clearly very naked from below. And I'm still very big. So, it's not eye candy that's going on there. So they're kind of, I got to imagine they're horrified. Like, oh my God, who dropped, what's his name? Free Willy on the wall.
No, I'm sure it was more like a matter of seeing a Yeti, like seeing the missing.
Oh my God. The hairiest Yeti. The hairiest Yeti.
Bigfoot's hog just hanging out there.
Yeah. Just all out for everybody to see. So I'm sitting there, and what they do is they set it's like this cloth thing, like this big white cloth looking thing, and they put it under where your belly is. So I already have a pocket. I have a fold, as you would call it, for them to add one side. So I'm good. I've weighted this down.
Yeah, you're ready.
And then they attach it to 2 lamps. So all I can see is this cloth. Everything else on the other side is all open for them. But from my stomach all the way up, it's just ready to rock.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen. Somebody could pinch me, and I would feel it for sure.
Honestly, it sounds like a scene from Flatliner, so I'm already kind of out.
It's getting there. Yeah. Well, no. So basically, the fondling begins.
Okay.
Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm speeding up too fast.
See, I was going to say you're getting me back into party mode here. So.
No. So he has to shave me.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately, as soon as he's like, all right, we're going to have to shave. And I'm like, why didn't I not do this? I don't want you to do this. But I didn't even think about it. And it's been, it's not like it's been like a year or anything. But it's been a few months.
So he's not fighting pygmies in the wild forest?
He is fighting pygmies in the wild forest. You're absolutely 100% right. And, the acorn is, somewhere in there. So I just want to make sure he's good to go and safe. So he's shaving, but he's shaving the ballular region.
Yes.
To get ready for it. He does it, and he nicks me. Was not fun.
No.
Was not fun. And then
it can be if they insult you immediately afterwards.
So not only does he nick me, but then he has to wash me with the soap.
Right.
And then he has to wash it off. Then he has to add the iodine thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm like, okay, it's all cold. I'm behind a sheet. I can't see anything. I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just nervous at this point. So now he has to find a vasect, and that's when he's going to go in and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward now, 35 minutes later of fondling and squeezing and searching and something and something and something and just lots of stuff. They cannot find it. Casey, there's a lot of things that I could say, but I cannot tell a lie here. And that is my ballulars are just too big. He actually said that. He said, you just have really big testicles. And
that's a medical statement.
It's a medical statement from a doctor. And he says, we might have to do this where we open you up. And I said, I'll be a dad. Thanks very much. Let's wipe this off and get out of here.
I mean, that honestly sounds like a great Saturday night, bro.
It was not a great Thursday morning. I'll tell you that much.
It depends on what state you're in.
So, that's true. It was just a very odd morning. And so I did.
How did you take that? Did you take it as an insult because he couldn't find your vase?
No, he didn't take it as an insult either. But it was definitely a weird like hour of my life.
So what's
to no avail on that.
Like, do you think there would be like, instead of, it sounds like the main issue is it was so cold that your giant cojones just kind of sucked up there and just stuck and would not allow themselves to release down even after some massaging. So the question is, do they have a hot vase, like hot yoga? So maybe you could go into a warm office that allowed, natural hang to take hold.
Well, here's the thing. I was a sweaty mess because I'm a sweaty mess if I breathe wrong.
Valid.
So they turned the air conditioning on. It wasn't that it was cold. It didn't turn into a hard shell substance. They were hanging free. They were just too big. He couldn't feel. He felt around everywhere and he couldn't find it. And he said they're just too big. So long story short, I'm still open for business. And when I got in the car with my wife and told her this story, she said, at least he's a good-looking guy. And
yeah, I mean, if you have to be fondled and caressed as such.
That's true.
I hope at the end of it you felt good. I mean, hey, you got a free shave out of it.
Well, I mean, I figured he saved my life when he took the staghorn out.
Fair.
So I figured I owed him one.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And I let him shave me and then fondle me for 35 minutes.
There you go.
But that's my
vasectomy story. We all say thank you in different ways.
That's very true. You just have to. You got to let them know. You got to let it all roll out. All right, here we go. His David Carradine with the one-way balls are fun. The viewers went up talking about this. Elephantitis. Oh, might be. I'd have to ask about that. I don't know.
Old Long Dong Silver over here.
You should have played Big Balls by AC/DC as you are. I should have. That would have been a great walkout.
Right.
I'm going to own it. Is visibly uncomfortable. I'm just here for the nominations. Well, I'm going to tell you about my dick surgery next. So
we're going to scoot right into those nominations. We're going to suddenly thank you for that wonderful segue, Kathleen.
All right, everybody. So anybody who knows us knows that last year we started an award show. And before we get to the nominations, I have to explain a little bit about it. It's called the Snobbie Awards. We celebrate independent podcasting and just the world and the people who do it. From anybody who's been here, was doing it last year and before. So this year, we leave out and they'll be eligible again next year. But how it works is Casey and I, we do the producing of the show, the live show, and we do the hosting.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, and I do the graphics and stuff for it too, and stuff like that.
You make it pretty and the production side, and I'm here just to be a presenter. I've always wanted to be a presenter on an award show. It's one of my little dreams, and the fact that we were able to make this come true, it's a thing.
But you're not a presenter.
Well, I mean, kind of.
No, you're the host.
I'm host. I'm hosting.
You are Bob Hope in this.
Yeah, I'm Bob Hope and hard. I would like to be Ricky Gervais one day. That tier.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Do it this year. I don't care.
Become egregiously assaulting and negative towards everyone.
It'd be amazing. I
feel like I've tried that shtick before. It doesn't fly.
It really it did for me. I love them. So because the Oscars are such bullshit,
bingo,
we here hold our award show on the same day as the Oscars, so you have something to watch that is meaningful and actually celebrates independence.
And soon we'll be working on our red carpet show as well, which will just be both of us in a lot of outfits.
It should be us in outfits, and we get somebody to come in and just degrade us.
Yes.
It'd be amazing.
Yes.
So,
and then superimpose faces of other people who are of the nominees over us in different outfits.
We will be doing the live show. So here, let me pull up the graph since I made it. So this Sunday on the 27th, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing the award show. And if you are interested in being a presenter, hit me up now because I have to start coordinating. And, Casey and I got to start getting it together and bringing people in and stuff like that. So if you're interested in being a presenter for any one of the of 10 categories, sorry.
You're good.
It's been a long few days.
Yeah.
But anyone in the 10 categories, because there are 11, but we will present the 11th. All right. Here
we got to have one.
So I want to thank, before we get started, I want to thank our judges. And I'm only going to give the first names just so I don't want to put them on blast. But Amanda, Jeremy, Shelton, and Dave, of course. My apologies to Dave. I'm very tired. I thank you guys so much. They stepped up, made a spreadsheet to calculate everything, and all I had to do, literally, was just read what they had. So then that way I could just put them in the categories where they need to go, so I can make the graphics. So the only thing that Casey and I, the only category that Casey and I have anything to do this side that have anything to do with is the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yep.
And we'll be getting to that too. But we do not decide that either.
No.
You guys decide that.
Boom.
And we'll talk about that when we get there. But all right, here we go. So the Snobbie Award nominations tonight. Here is the judges' selection process. The panel is comprised of 4 judges. The panel listen to each episode of every show submitted. There are 10 categories with no more than 5 shows nominated each category. The episodes are scored from 1 to 10 on 5 aspects: personalities of hosts and participants, audiovisual quality, topics, interviews, overall enjoyment, and would they listen to more episodes. Then that is averaged out.
And then each judge's score for each show are averaged on each judge gives their top 5 choices for each category. Shows are then selected by more than one by the judges for each category are automatically nominated, and the remaining spots are filled with the selected shows with the highest scores.
That's right. All right. So there and the judges each select their choice for the winner of each category, and the winners are determined by their scores. Now, the one thing I will say right now is I do not know any winners. They haven't given them to me yet. We're getting there. I have the scores calculated to make the nomination, so I probably won't know the winners until this weekend.
Which makes it exciting for us. So our responsibility is to make sure we present y'all with the best show possible and to really make sure we honor everybody who's receiving these awards. And
I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought about it real quick. We have been nominated. We were submitted by more than one of our, people who watch the show. AJ included in that. Actually, Jason included in that. So our show was nominated. So that was a reason for us to both say we want nothing to do with the scoring or anything like that.
Nope.
I put it out there for anybody who wanted to apply to be judges. We had 10 people apply, and we had 4 people who actually took the reins and did it. I know a few of them closely, but not closely through the internet. And one I had no idea at all. And so it's been pretty interesting. And I don't think any of them actually listen to our show.
Occasionally, I would like to think they do. They at least listen to one episode.
They listen to this. Actually, no, I don't think any of them actually listen to the show.
Wow.
Other than the one that they had to listen to. So, all right. Anyway, let's get started, shall we?
We certainly shall. This is very exciting. What's our first category, Mick?
Well, I just want to make sure that we have. I would be honored to be insulted by you, Jason Taylor. I just wanted to make sure that because we know a lot of people. Damn it! I don't know what our first category is. I have no idea. This is hysterical. Oh, there.
You don't have a wired mouse?
Not on me. It's upstairs. I use it for the other one. All right. Anyway, so nominees for the best video podcast are the Den of Nerds podcast, The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel, Some Nobodies Talking Upstream, Showboys, and 5 Things.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for your nominations, and congratulations, everybody. We're super excited to see who pulls out in that category.
Yeah. I know who will be pulling out is the guy who didn't have a vasectomy.
Oh, you bringing it back with your joke.
Got to come full circle. Anyway, let's get to the next one, shall we? And Casey, you want to do the honors of reading this off?
I would be honored, sir. What have we got?
It's the nominees for Best Podcast and Interview.
All right. Nominees for the Best Interview Show: The Voice Over Coffee Shop, The Pause Menu, Entertain This, The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel, and Some Nobodies Talking Upstream. Congratulations to all our nominees.
That is awesome, everybody. And all these graphics will be put up on our social media, so that way you guys can grab them if you want to, and you want to share them out. That would be fantastic. Let everybody know about the show. All right, so the next one is the nominees for Best Podcast in Education or News. Podcasters Assemble, Create, Launch, Monetize Podcast, 5 Things, Entertain This, Just 2 Idiots. And this one's right up Casey's alley. So
Nominees for Best Podcast in Pop Culture: The Scene Snobs, No Time to Binge, Mighty Marvel Geeks, The Den of Nerds, and Podcasters Assemble. Congratulations to all our nominees.
yes, absolutely. All right, next up on the list is nominees for Best Podcast in Entertainment. And that is the Scene Snobs podcast, No Time to Binge, Camp Nightmare podcast, Pause Menu, Basement Arcade, Some Nobodies Talking Upstream. Congratulations to all of our nominees. And Casey, I need the most dramatic voice for this next one. Give me the most dramatic one you got. Come on.
Nominees for Best Podcast in Drama. I honestly cannot read that one. The first one. Oh, Create Your Own Podcast. What is it?
It's Create Your Own Podventure.
Podventure. All right. Yeah. Sorry. That graphic is forgive me. I'm on a tiny screen tonight. Create Your Own Podventure.
I'll
Nightmare.
We're a mess tonight, but that's what we are. This next one I'll take after you do Camp Nightmare.
Okay. Camp Nightmare.
In Your Head Wrestling Podcast.
Donna Jean's Coffee House of Horror and the Prisoner's Pardon Podcast.
His voice is so much better, people. I mean, I just hope you guys know that. I do, like, I've been looking at these for the graphics for so long in the past 2 days. Like, I know which one, like, if it doesn't have it listed, I know which one it is. So
perfect.
All right. And the nominees for Best Podcast in Comedy is Jack Billings presents Haunted Apartment Complex, the Scene Snobs podcast, No Time to Binge, Just Two Idiots, Camp Nightmare podcast. All these are great shows too.
Yeah,
we have checked them out, and because we saw the submission process and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun, like getting to know these.
no, it's been wonderful. That's one of the best parts about this. Doing the Snobbies is actually learning about other independent podcasts and being able to start listening to some really cool shows.
Absolutely. Now the next four are what I guess you would consider sort of like the big ones. Like if you're looking at the like Oscars or something like that, like Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, sort of thing. It's more of an individual basis, is why I'm saying It's not so much a show. And to explain it a little bit, we have hosts, host of the year, podcasters of the year, podcasts of the year, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, before we present the next one for Casey to read off, I do want to just let you know, host of the year means one person from any one of the shows that were submitted. They picked out these hosts, the top 5 hosts, that they thought shined as hosts. Podcasters is the hosts together. They looked at it from the perspective of like, how do these two get along? Are they good? Do these hosts get together well and put on a good show together? Podcasts, of course, are what they thought were the top 5 podcasts of the year.
Fantastically explained, and thank you, Rules Man Mick.
Thank you very much. And here we go, Case.
Nominees for Host of the Year: The Scene Snobs, Mick Manhattan; Entertain This, Alex Steele; Camp Nightmare, Jordan Miller; Some Nobodies Talking Upstream, Dylan Terry; The Den of Nerds, Josh Lucas.
And congratulations to all of the nominees.
Congratulations to all of our nominees.
Okay, so now here we go. Podcasters of the Year. Nominees for Podcasters of the Year are the Scene Snobs podcast, Mick Manhattan and Casey Plott. Entertain This, Alex Steele, Nick Mustakangas, Michael Savoya, and Chloe Price. Camp Nightmare podcast, Jordan Miller and JB Dunn. Conversation with Brandon T. McClure. And Pause Menu, Basement Arcade from Ben Magnet. All right. Congratulations to all of the nominees.
Congrats, everybody.
And now, come up to the final 2. Casey, my friend.
Certainly, good man.
There you go.
Nominees for Podcast of the Year: Podcasters Assemble, No Time to Binge, The Scene Snobs, Camp Nightmare, and Entertain This.
Congratulations to all the nominees. And really, guys, you need to check out these shows. They're really good. They're a lot of fun. Follow them out there. They're all over the place. It's a great time. Now, the Lifetime Achievement Award, there's a few. Everybody gets to vote. They will be voting on our social media. You will see the posts. We'll have it pinned. Make sure you get your votes in. If you are nominated, tell your people to get out there and vote, because we will tally everything together at the end. We are not picking.
No.
We do not pick. We don't even get a vote.
Nope.
So we don't have any part of this. But here's the requirements. You have to have been podcasting and still podcasting for 5 years or more. Mm-hmm. If you are under 5 years, you are not eligible to be there. So everybody who has been nominated by us. Well, one by me. Who I truly think deserves it. I truly thinks deserves it, and has been doing it for 11 years. So 12 years, actually. 12 years now.
Yeah.
So, well, without further ado, I'll read this one off.
Thanks, buddy.
Nominees for Lifetime Achievement in Podcasting. Jason Taylor from the 3 Geeks podcast has been doing it for 8 years. And go check out his show. He produces it every week, and he does a fantastic job. Jack Doherty and Jeremy Kale from the Canned Air podcast, which is an amazing show. They have both been doing this. Jack 8 years, Jeremy 9 years. They also have a wonderful co-host, Randy Hardenbrook, who is just under the eligibility to be nominated for this, but he is also fantastic. Go check out their show. Jimmy Star from the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Casey, you're making me laugh. And of course, if you know Jimmy Star, he's been doing this for so many years. He's a pro in the industry, and he just puts on fantastic shows with his husband, Ron Russell, and they're both very funny. And of course, my nomination for this, and I would nominate him for a myriad of shows throughout all of those years, Off Topic Radio, the Mystery Elephant podcast, and the Scene Snobs podcast, Mr. Casey Plott, who has been doing this, like we said, for 12 years.
Well, congratulations to all our nominees.
Yes, absolutely. And that is our Snobbie Awards nominees.
So excited. The 27th, y'all, Sunday. It's coming up. So make sure to join us on our social media through Discord, through Facebook, through Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, whatever outlet you use, YouTube. And please, anybody who's listening on a podcast, check in one of those areas and vote for who you think should be the Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
Yes. This will be up tonight after the show. So you can see this graphic, and then we're going to put a poll together so you'll be able to check it out. But yes, place your votes. You guys can campaign for it, whatever. But the voting ends at midnight on Saturday.
Yep.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
So it ends then. So that way we'll be able to tally the next morning and such and get us together for the award show. I want to thank everybody who submitted, because we actually had a huge amount of numbers come out to submit, even bigger than last year. And there's only a handful of people who submitted that were in it last year. Now, as you guys know, we don't just put shows in, you have to submit. Mm-hmm. So, they came out, record number for the second annual.
Right.
And they submitted their shows. So I want to thank everybody who submitted. If we continue this on to the third annual, then please remember to submit next year and keep a lookout. It will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel. So make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, do the whole 9 or whatever. Make sure to give us, 5 stars on whatever platform you happen to be listening to, and tell us how you really feel about us. Absolutely, we would love to hear that. Casey is 100% right, and I was just reading something as I was thinking about exactly what you said, and putting everything together in my head.
The synapses are firing at molasses speed tonight.
It is. It really is. Well, now that's over. That was like the big thing for me.
Well, that was the huge piece. Now, our numbers are going to dwindle. Everyone's like, well, we're done.
Time to go home till Sunday. Congrats, guys. Jason Taylor, congrats to you for nomination.
Yeah, man.
AJ, who submitted a lot of podcasts.
Which is sweet. Thank you, AJ.
Was really sweet. He submitted ours. We did not submit ours, just so you guys know. I feel bad because I feel like we're hosting, but we're also nominated. We didn't submit ours. We didn't say, okay, the Scene Snobs is going in now. We said we are eligible, but Ben Magnet, congratulations, sir. Thank you for watching tonight. And make sure you're watching on Sunday. Let's see who wins. Damn, I can't believe I got nominated 3 times. Yeah, man. Judges really liked you, dude. And
I couldn't believe the judges liked us. I kept going back and being asking you, because you're kind of the conduit to the judges. And I was like, are you sure that they weren't all drugged or drunk?
And not even that. I wasn't really, I was the conduit for us, but I put the sheet together of all the links that everybody sent me for their shows, the episodes they attached, and I sent it out to them. And that's it. And then I didn't hear from them until it's funny. Usually with anything I do, I have to remind everybody with the deadlines.
Right.
No, March 15th, everybody just put theirs in. And I was like, sweet. AJ, message me on Facebook or wherever. And just remind me that you want to be a presenter, and we'll get you on, dude.
Well, and it looks like those Lifetime Achievement Awards, it's a bunch of J's. 4 dudes with J names.
Jeremy, Jason, and Jimmy. Fake news podcast regress to both Conversation and Pause Menu Basement Arcade, who are part of the fake nerd family. Can't wait to see who wins.
Woo-hoo!
Yes, congratulations to them, and thank you guys for watching. And there we go again. So we appreciate you guys, and thank you for submitting. Absolutely, like that. It's just fantastic, and again, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a blast.
I will tell you, based on the numbers, I know who everybody really likes, but I don't that they get to choose their winners too. So like that's there's a lot of aspects to it. So again, I don't know anything, but I know who the favorites were. It ain't these guys.
No. But we are more than honored to be involved and considered to even be at the level of most of these programs. So thank you all. And the fact that keep getting put in this damn Lifetime Achievement Award. I hope. Well, I want to Susan Lucci this really hard. All right. I want to go 9 years and never win.
Listen. Oh my God. Wait, were you in the Lifetime Achievement Award last year?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh man, I didn't realize that. Well, you're in it again this year. So yeah, everybody. So yeah, thank you again. Congratulations to everybody. And Sunday's gonna be kick-ass, so let's join.
Yeah. We're going to be really fancied up. It's going to be glitz. It's going to be gala. It's going to be fancy. We're going to be just living the dream, y'all.
So Case.
Hey, Mick.
We went to the movie Saturday night.
Dude, did we ever.
And, afterwards. No, wait. Did that happen that night? No, it happened the night before we went to the movies. So I couldn't sleep. That's what it was. You were going to come by the next day.
Yes.
And we were going to go to the movies. But the night before, I am sitting there in bed, just laying down. My wife fell asleep.
Freshly shaven.
I'm freshly shaven by my doctor. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, I can't sleep. So I went downstairs. And, I made myself something to eat, got a drink. I was hanging out. And I'm flipping through. So I subscribe to Pluto TV. I love Pluto TV. It's free. But some of their movie channels, they show some of the best stuff, like stuff you haven't seen in years. Like this is WPIX level.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Oh, it's great. Their cult channel is amazing. So I'm flipping through, and I actually love doing that because I have that feeling of like when you're a kid, you're flipping through, and I know you can do it on cable, but it almost looks like the old guide menu.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know. I like that. And then they have old TV shows, old stuff like that. Here's the thing. I was flipping through and I found a movie that literally every movie you can think of that you'd be like, you stop every time. Now, we've talked about this in the past, Shawshank Redemption, Batman 89, stuff like that. You do. Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. But really, you don't always have to. You can peel yourself away if you really need to. Well, not on this Saturday night. Because there was a movie playing that these movies, there's 9 movies in these series. He's the greatest on-screen hero of all time, in my opinion. And I love it. I love this. And it comes from a station that I do not love. And I generally do not watch unless it's just football's on it. That being CBS.
Ah, yes.
Well, let me tell you. The Jesse Stone movie, Jesse Stone, Lost in Paradise, was on. And here's the thing. I love the Jesse Stone movies. And now if anybody who doesn't know...
I was going to say, we might need to preface what exactly the Jesse Stone movies are for the non-CBS viewers.
I came prepared tonight. And here, I came prepared with a picture and a clip. Ooh. And I want people to know the Jesse Stone. But before I do, I got to set it up a little bit. I got to get the setup going. So I'm sitting there. It's late at night. I mean, I'm talking, it's like 12:15. I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. I know Casey's coming over the next day. We're going to hang out. And I want to be spry and ready to go. Wasn't going to happen this evening. So Jesse Stone, Lost in Paradise is on. Here's why that's a big deal, and I keep mentioning it. There are 9 movies in the Jesse Stone universe.
Saga.
The saga. Yes, the saga. Yeah. I do maintain that he's in the universe because he's not in the Avengers universe, or else he'd be an Avenger. So
fair. I wonder if he's in the Luther universe.
Oh, he should be. You team up with Luther just fine.
Right.
Oh my God, Jesse Stone takes a ride to London. That'd be great. I'd watch that shit. So
Of course you would. It's Jesse Stone. Doesn't
I
matter
would.
who's doing
I would.
what.
But here's
Jesse
the
Stone
thing.
goes to the ice cream store. You're gonna watch it.
I would. And it's been there. He's done it. So here's the thing. Jesse Stone is such an odd thing. If you watch it, you would look at me and be like, that's not your flavor, man. Every movie you ever talk about, you never talk about Jesse Stone. Well, this is a lesser known love, my friends. And I love them, and I don't know why, because they are the antithesis of everything that I talk about and love. I love action. I love horror. I love this. And Jesse Stone is none of that and all of it at the same time. And it's just beautifully done. Well, here's the thing. I'm watching Lost in Paradise, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't recognize anything that's happening in this movie, and I know everything that happens in the Jesse Stone movies. All of them. And I look up Lost in Paradise. Now, these movies started coming out in 2005. There's 9 movies in this saga. 9.
Pumping them out.
Almost better than how Marvel's doing it in terms of putting out movies. But Marvel should marvel at the storyline of Jesse Stone, the continuing storyline of the Paradise police chief. So I'm watching this. I recognize nothing going on this, and I'm so mad because I'm like, how do I not remember a Jesse Stone movie? Well, Casey, this came out in 2015, and it was the last movie in the Jesse Stone saga to come out. That does not mean that they are not going to make any more. It just means it's the last one in the series thus far.
Thus far, yes. No, there's always options and opportunities with Tom Selleck at the helm.
I didn't even mention Tom Selleck yet. You're jumping the gun here, sir.
I'm sorry, Jason yelled in the comments. I'm
You're
saying
all good. You're all good. You're good. I'm not mad. Because it's true. He's there. Let me tell you that when I learned that this was a new movie, because I was going to watch it regardless of which one it was. There was no changing. There was no going to bed. This was an escapade of sorts. Because I started watching, I was very tired. Now, I watch this movie, I realize it's brand new and I have to watch it because you never know when it's coming on again. And I'm like, you know what? I'd really love to watch all of these movies.
I mean, you have Pluto, don't they have a Jesse Stone channel?
I wish I would watch. No, they can't have a Jesse Stone channel because I would never get anything done. This show would disappear.
It
would just be you talking and me preoccupied by watching Jesse Stone channel.
That's how me and my 900-pound life, it would actually show back up, and that's, you'd have to get craned out of your freaking house because you wouldn't leave just watching Jesse Stone. I get it.
But here's the thing: I wouldn't gain any weight because I would never go to the refrigerator. I would just wither away and die watching Jesse Stone because I love it that much. I don't know why. Now let me show you guys. So I had to look up. Let me finish the story of watching Lost in Paradise because I got lost in paradise that night. I'm watching this and I'm like, I'd really love to watch the Jesse Stone movies. I don't have them. Let me see what's the best way to do it. Did I look them up? Yeah, and they're all for rent.
Mm-hmm.
They're all for rent for $3.99 on various things. Mm-hmm. But then I said, no. If I'm going to watch Jesse Stone, it's going to be physical media. And then I looked it up.
Well, that's
and the DVD box set is in existence on Amazon for $36, all 9 movies. Look at that. That's the man right there, Jesse Stone himself.
I mean, I just have a problem with the whole goatee thing. Like,
Get
the man is
here.
a mustache man, all right? He needs a mustache. He doesn't need a whole goatee. And also the whole Blue Bloods without a mustache, that's just terrifying.
No, but in Blue Bloods, he has the goatee. And this is no connection to Blue Bloods, people. I don't watch that show. And it's not that I don't like Tom Selleck. I loved Magnum growing up and stuff like that. I don't like Magnums in real life. That's why I needed the vasectomy. But anyway, so I do get tired. And I'm like, I need to lay down and watch this. My wife being asleep be damned. When there was a commercial, I raced upstairs and I turned it on the TV in the room. And she's fine. She's still asleep, but whatever. I took the chance. I mean, Jesse Stone movies are very quiet, if nothing else.
Well, once again, it's CBS, so the action is only so actiony.
Yes. There's occasionally an explosion.
It's got diagnosis murder action.
You shut your mouth.
Am I wrong?
Yes, I maintain that you are completely wrong in this scenario.
So NCIS action?
Closer.
There you go.
so maybe an in-between of both. So I have the movie on. My wife's sleeping. My son wakes up. He had a nightmare. Now he's 5. He comes in. And I'm like, all right, buddy, come on in. I have the light on. I'm watching this movie. He's cuddled up next to me watching the movie with me. My wife wakes up. She goes, is he okay? I was like, yeah, he had a nightmare. Yeah, it's no problem. And she goes, oh, well, he needs to get some sleep. You want to turn the TV off? I said, I was like, he's about to catch the bad guy. He's about to race to catch the bad guy in this. And then, so that means there's about 35 more minutes in this movie. Because that's how the Jesse Stone movies work. They catch the bad guy and then they tie up all loose ends.
Well, of course. I mean, it's a Nash Bridges episode, basically.
You stop comparing it to shitty shows. You stop it. This is Jesse Stone we're talking about.
I have watched Jesse Stone. I'm well aware of it.
Everybody who's watching right now on the live show and everybody who's listening, just hear this clip. Quiet everybody as I play this clip for us.
Can't come every couple of months and expect to get anything done.
I've been busy fighting crime.
Small town, what do you expect?
What I've come to expect.
You take a job you're overqualified for. You're good at what you do, so you stir the pot, up comes a couple of rats. But for all intents and purposes, nothing happens here.
You know what I'm talking about. You were a cop.
Yeah, but I quit.
Because it made you drink?
I think that's called projection.
That's 98% of the entire 9 series. It's just talking. And that is how Jesse Stone and everybody else talks to each other. And then sometimes sprinkled in, you might get a few shootouts, which usually ends with Jesse Stone straight up just shooting the guy because he's the greatest cop ever. And
that's what makes a great cop? I think we have to have
No. That's not what, no. Listen, this is the Batman level type of investigation. Okay. With less punching at times, but more violence, if that makes sense.
Absolutely not.
there's a lot of big dick swinging in this. This is a lot of John Wayne-ness. So this is Jesse Stone at his finest. And I had to watch the movie all the way through, and I did not turn it off until those credits rolled. Mm-hmm. And my kid watched it with me. And then my wife's like, I have to put him back in his bed because this is ludicrous. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you'll never understand my love of Jesse Stone. That's the end of my story.
I will never understand your love of Jesse Stone. But I have a lot of loves, too, that generally kind of fly in the face of conventional ideals.
I do. And that's what I wanted to ask. But first, I want to give some Jesse Stone love from Jason on screen. Tom Selleck, baby. I love CBS. The Good Wife is one of my favorites. Shut up. I'm not even finishing that sentence because you brought up something else, just like Casey was doing over here.
Tom Selleck is a national treasure, not to be confused with Nick Cage, who searched for a national treasure.
Nick Cage is a national treasure, too. I love that guy too. All right, we got there. Casey, this was part of the thing. I'm sorry I had to go on a long-winded story, but I needed to.
No, I understand completely. When you love something so much that you have to watch it, that you have to engage, that it's gripping and you can't let go because it's just one of those things. And you and I on this show discuss constantly all of the things we love. I have so many levels of absurds with independent horror movies, our John Carpenter love. The love for cheesy movies that most people don't like Maximum Overdrive. The idea of kids being killed by a coke machine is hilarious. It's great. Attacking a Little League squad. Needless to say, I digress. There are so many things that I discuss, and Star Trek, all of my counterculture things that I love. Oddly enough, I do have a mainstream love, and I was trying to figure out which one is it, because most people know of mine. I don't have anything that's really, I wear it all out there.
No.
But I don't think I bring up my absolute love of Westerns often.
Really?
Westerns, yeah, my Westerns to the point where I can't piecemeal a Western. I am so sold on a story in any Western that I must watch it through completion. So, and I bring this up because I recently started to try to watch The Harder They Fall. One of my favorite Westerns. Love that movie. Yeah. And I was in a big mood because I watched Silverado recently and was like, I just love that movie. And this, The Harder They Fall, I think is a better portrayal of very similar characters and kind of a similar events. So it's cool. But I kept getting interrupted. And to me, a story where you can just pop in and pop out of, that's kind of what I do with most of my movies or TV shows. It's difficult to be able to sit down and get a full viewing. But I got interrupted 3 different times at 3 different parts of that movie. At one point, I was 52 minutes into the movie, and I still had to restart it. Because I need that complete story. Because when you tell a great story, and most Westerns do, you'll miss things.
Yeah.
There's so much panning of the camera. There's so much scenery building, so much world building that has to happen to get to know where the town is and get to an idea of what you're going up against. And, the townsfolk as well. Like all of that plays into it. So you can't miss any of it. Otherwise, your story's shot. So my love of Westerns is almost an obsession that I must complete it beginning to end. And I love Westerns all the way back to the days of Posse. I was a huge fan of that one growing up. The Mario Van Peebles Tale.
The Western is probably one of the oldest genres in filmmaking.
Yes.
And you took it all the way back to the days of Posse in
1994, thereabouts.
It's a 94, whatever. It was one of them. Now, I knew you loved Westerns. We've talked about it.
Yeah, and I've always been a fan. Obviously Tombstone. That's one of the best. We all know about that one. Gunfight at the OK Corral was where I really remember cutting my teeth. That was a freaking awesome one. And that's going way back, the Henry Fonda days.
That's Darling Clementine was actually one where Wyatt Earp, it was made from stories Wyatt Earp told John Ford.
Yep.
So that's a crazy thing about it.
It was fantastic. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. That was you and I. That was one of the first movies you ever recommended to me. As friends, as joining up, our love of Westerns or something we discussed at length. And I was a huge fan of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Yet it took me almost 10 viewings to see it because I kept getting interrupted. And as soon as I had to step away from it, I had to restart it. And that's a long freaking movie. It's a really long movie.
It is a long movie. And actually, that one was made on not a bet. It was almost like a challenge.
Really?
Yeah, because there was an interview another filmmaker had said about John Ford, that John Ford is nothing without his sweeping camera movements along the Western landscape. So he made Man Who Shot Liberty Valance that has no real landscape shots at all in any way. They are not out in the landscape. That takes place in this town, and that's it. And it's considered widely one of the best Westerns of all time.
That is absolutely true. But this is of all Westerns. We're talking The Last Hard Men, going all the way up to, who doesn't love, oh my gosh, how I forget the Gunfighters. Hateful Eight was fantastic. Magnificent Seven. Mm-hmm. Magnificent Seven is wonderful as well. Like any of those movies, I get locked in and I have to watch them all the way through. They're so good. So that's something I don't really bring up often. I'm not ashamed of my love of Westerns, nor wanting to get that whole story. Like the way I have to watch Westerns is weird, and it makes it real freaking hard when I get in a spaghetti Western movie. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I have to start at 10 p.m. and just settle in and hope no one interrupts me.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. Yeah, and that's an odd quirk, not a bad quirk in any way. I get it, because Westerns can be very. Landscape is a big part of that, and not just that, but like you said, the towns, everything, all the details are really on point. And so yeah, I get it. It's just it's a cool quirk in my opinion. Mm. And you mentioned The Harder They Fall, which is one of my favorites too. It's top 5 for sure.
Fantastic.
Which brings me to the same point that the Oscars are bullshit because it was not nominated.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about? One
of the best movies last year.
Easily. James Samuel directing and writing that just knocked it out of the park, man. He was so good. He brought such a wonderful story and a true Western. I haven't had Westerns like that in a while. Yeah. That brings that out and goes, I can't wait to see these guys square off. That's what Silverado does. It's wonderful. You get the cheese of that.
It's definitely, it brings something back that to the Western that's been missing for a while.
Almost Young Guns where you're with the posse, you're with the crew, you're excited alongside of them as they travel on this adventure. It was really neat.
And as much as I love Young Guns,
Mhm.
I love Young Guns 2 even more.
Well, yeah. I mean, it gets better.
But, yeah. Well,
And
we're
the
coming on.
songs get better. They get Blaze of Glory. Come on.
Oh my God, I love that song so much.
Right?
Well, no, I was just about to sing Wanted. That's bad. That's Dead or Alive. I'm an idiot. And I'm from Jersey. That's the worst part. Maybe it's just subconscious.
No, hopefully it's wearing off.
I went to
Hopefully
high
it's finally
school.
starting.
I went to high school 2 blocks from his high school. And I can't believe I screwed that up.
And that's your claim to fame?
That's my biggest claim to fame. Absolutely. I one time also talked to, a celebrity. So, there's that too.
Sweet.
I don't remember which one though.
There's a couple of them.
So just so you guys know, we're going to get into the bracket next because we have to get to the 64. We haven't even gotten there. So we're going to get to the 64. And if we can argue some, we will. But right now what I think we should do is we should round out the 64, put out the brackets. You guys can all get a bracket and join in with us. And then next week we will start dwindling it down.
I think that's the best way to do it. We can actually commit to our bracketology and have everyone else join in and see how things go next week.
So we'll do that. But real quick, just a quick announcement. I did mention that I did put together a special episode of the Scene Snobs podcast, which will be out in audio, which will be out video. You can check it out. And that is Dismantling Batman Forever. It's clips of us tearing apart Batman Forever. And the Chris O'Donnell bullshit of him being 93 years old and still playing a ward to a billionaire.
I have 2 issues with this. Number 1, you gave me the tiny bat ears.
That's the only one I could find that was like looking to the side a little bit.
So now I feel uncomfortable. And number 2, you could have made me Robin or Nightwing.
I didn't think about it. I should have. Listen,
Or Alfred. I'll take Alfred.
I mean, it does work. You're 39 years old. So, I mean, you could have played Robin.
Yeah. See, I'm right in that wheelhouse, buddy. I'm Chris O'Donnell all up in here. Not really.
I will remember that for next time, for sure. But before we get started, we'll pull up the thing and join in with us. Of course, we're putting together 64. If you have anything that you want to throw out there, please feel free to throw it out in the comments, and we will consider it as we put the bracket together. But this is March Badness.
March Badness. Bracket.
All right. Should I pull up the lists on screen?
Yeah, we might as well. I mean, we're committing with everyone else here, so let's just do this thing. Let's let everyone see how the sausage is made, as it were.
I love it. Let's do it. Okay, so here we go. All right. Let's get situated. There we go. You guys can see, right?
Can you zoom that
Casey, thank you for the spreadsheet. It was wonderful.
Oh yeah, buddy.
So
I love spreadsheets.
You do. You really do. I love it.
There's one I don't talk about often. My incredible love of Excel.
That's true. So the list on the left is Casey's picks.
Mm-hmm.
The list on right here, which says Mick, are my picks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is who we had combined in our top 64 each.
Hey, bro, do you think you can make that screen a little bigger? Can you control?
I cannot. I can't do
okay.
that. That's way above my pay grade. I don't do spreadsheets.
I get that. Yeah.
I guess. I'll find it. I don't care. Why? Is somebody asking me to do this?
No, I just...
You son of a...
Where it says 100%. There we go. Perfect. Yes, now we're talking.
No, I know how to make the screen bigger. Zoom in. I was just kidding. I was pretending.
It's this whole look. We're gonna just give you. It's a really screwed up version of. Do you like it? Does it look good? Yeah. There's nothing there. The Emperor's New Clothes.
Well, here's what I say we do. We have the combined list. We'll just add the rest on here. It goes to 22. So we have a pretty hefty night ahead of us. Not really. We'll get through it. But
we got this.
Here's what my thinking was when I started this. And that was I'm keeping horror movie villains out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keeping Nazis out.
Okay.
Because they're just, we know how terrible they are.
I hear you on that. One of the ways I was taking this was I was going villains. What is a villain? A villain is someone who does something for personal gain and hurts someone else along the way and feels no remorse about it and will continually do it to feed whatever need they have, being fully self-serving. to some degree or another. So it's difficult. So this is a prime example. Jason Voorhees to me is not a villain. He's a vengeance spirit. It's different.
That's fair. Yeah, he's just, and that was a big one too. Like, I didn't really go with any animalistic type villains because it's like, is it in their nature? Like a lot of people on their lists had the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. I'm like,
yeah, and Jaws. I'm like, but it's nature. Like you can't.
Yeah, he's just doing his job. Like that's what he does.
That's how they live.
Yeah. So
you just happen to be in their way. That's.
You know what I want to add to the list? I do agree with Max Caddy. I can't believe I didn't think of him.
Yeah, no, Max Caddy is 100%. He's got to be in there because he had years to change his life in prison to become a better person, and all he did was plot his revenge against one dude and trying to hurt his family. So screw Max Caddy.
Why are you just stop jumping? I have to click off. All right. Let me look at your list. Well, I'll scroll, and then we'll see. Like, if you see anybody that stands out on my list, you let me know, and then.
Well, so I've got Hannibal Lecter, and
I want to come back to your list,
and
we'll justify it. I want to scroll through first.
Okay, go ahead,
and just see if anybody jumps out. Like Max Caddy jumped out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff on here. Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer.
Yeah, bro. The Trinity Killer is absolutely necessary because he wasn't really made. We didn't get enough of his backstory to believe that someone really screwed him up. He just has a hole within him that he's trying to fill with the damage caused to and for others.
And just that kill count alone was just insane.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Alice Morgan too. She was a top contender for me, but I left her off ultimately because of her sympathetic nature. I know.
I get it, but she's also pure sociopath. So she's someone who was kind of doing it just cause.
But that's, again, that for me, that's her nature.
Okay.
That's what was my thinking was. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's the best way. Terry Silver from Karate Kid 3.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
That is, but Terry Silver, I've got a problem with war vets. Yeah, he was kind of a piece of garbage, but also he was damaged.
He was damaged, but the reason I didn't put anybody on from the Karate Kid was because Cobra Kai is still going, and they are all sympathetic characters now. They all have issues that are coming back. Now, Terry Silva, just from Karate Kid 3, if he didn't come back to Cobra Kai at all, I say so because he was dumping toxic waste.
Right.
But he turned his life around, and it was Creasy who pulled him back in, and like he's just doing what he thinks is the best for his students. It's so weird. It's so odd how they played it out. I love it, but I just don't know that he fits, but I do like that pick.
Well, and that was one of the reasons I think Cruella de Vil on the flip side of that fits, because at the end of the day, she's just going to be an awful human being. She's trying to kill puppies for fashion. I don't care what her backstory is. I don't care that we become sympathetic to her. She still is just a self-serving evil human.
I am fine, and I have to make this this assertion on it is that if you want her to be on the villains list, Cruella has to be out. It has to be purely 101 Dalmatians.
See, I disagree with that. You must take everything into play that is currently out there. Because if we're doing comic book villains, we're doing all these other ones, we can't pick and choose which material to pull from. You know what I'm saying? So if we have to accept everything that is the full body work, that does include them. Hence, Dr. Doom is not on my list because he does still have humanity's best interest at heart. It's his way, but he does turn out to be right. So it's even worse. You know,
Annie Wilkes. I'm going to circle around on Cruella. I don't know that I'm sold on Cruella yet. So let's go through the list, see what we find. Yep. Annie Wilkes is on my list.
Okay.
And
she's not on mine because I just don't damage people. It's kind of what extent, you know?
Well, that's the thing, though, is damage. I don't think you can take damaged people out. Like mine, the only reason I took out Nazis and I took out horror movies because horror movie villains, not because like Jason is this entity or that or this, because I mean Freddy Krueger was a child molester before.
Yeah, see, that's why Freddy Krueger is absolutely in mine, because he is a villain. He was never good. He has no redeeming qualities, and he was only hurting others for his own self. game.
And that's fine. And I'm not against him and if you have any others on your list. I took them out personally because I'm like, I feel like it's easy. I feel like that makes an easy villains list because they're meant to be that.
Sure, and that's why some of them don't. That's why I think Michael Myers is the shape. He is not on my list. He's one of my favorite villains, but I don't think he fits as one of the best villains of all time or baddest villains of all time.
I agree. So, yeah, I mean, a villain has to definitely have an ultimate goal, especially, I think, searching for power.
Like Montgomery Burns? Absolutely.
Montgomery Burns is more of a nuisance.
No, he's a villain, man. He tries to block out the sun of Springfield so he can force people to all rely on him. He was a villain, bro.
He's a villain, but he's also I don't disagree. I'm not saying no.
Okay, what about
like on my end? I'm not my no doesn't necessarily mean that it's not in, but
what about
I don't think he's gonna be a top contender with the other ones that we have. So I'm holding off for now until we get. Granted, we have all right, you know what? Fuck it. Montgomery Burns. We need to speed up this process.
There we go. Because I had a lot in here that I have like almost 20 characters that I just pulled off the list only because they don't really qualify. And when we get down there, you'll see that.
Yeah. We got the Borg, we got the Daleks. Ramsay Snow, absolutely. I don't know why I didn't put him on my list. I saw him on yours. I should have just done it because he absolutely he was so sadistic and Which because I had Cersei. I think it's because I already put the Night King and Cersei, and I was like, but that show did have a lot of villains in it.
Yeah, that was one of the beauties of it is that they had the dynamic characters from both ends, the heroes and villains.
I think President Snow should be on there from Hunger Games. That dude was a mess.
I'm fine with that. I have no issue with that. You better have Kilgrave from Jessica Jones on there.
He's already on there. He's somewhere around here. Kilgrave.
Yep. Gold Dukat from DS9 I'm holding on to.
He's on there. He was on my list too.
And then Batiatus and Lucretia from Spartacus was a big one too.
Stop throwing things at me. I'm still trying to remember who I was supposed to put on.
Did you add Montgomery Burns already?
I did add Monty Burns.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I don't know. Who the hell did I say was going on there? I can't remember now. You son of a bitch.
Gotcha.
You did. You got me.
Ramsay Snow?
I put Ramsay Snow on there, but there was somebody else. No, I think it was on my list.
Did you add Fire Lord
President Snow.
Oh, President Snow. Yes, President.
That's what it was. Because that guy was that. I mean, that was just messed up, and he was screwing everyone over.
Yep. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
It's true.
I definitely have Fire Lord Ozai from the Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like he has to be on there just because he fucked up his own kids, man.
Who?
Like Fire Lord Ozai from Avatar: The Last Airbender, because he messed with his kids' minds for his own gain. Because he was just so disgusting. Bro, we got to talk later.
No, I'm kidding, of course. And everybody should know
it.
God damn your spreadsheets. They're so good, but they're driving me nuts.
Because that's your mouse. It's 100% your mouse.
I forget to click out. That's my problem. All right, Ozai's on there. That's a good choice. Fuck you, Killer Bob. Jesus. All right. At the beginning of the show, I want everybody to know this. I said to Casey, I was like, we need to curse less. And now I'm just cursing.
I think we've done a fantastic job saying fuck way less.
All right, let's not get that way. Let's not get out of our way too hard. Because I've already mine are involuntary. I think it's just Jersey. You start talking about villains and it's like, I know that guy. I think Omni-Man should be on there.
Really? Okay. You know what?
If we're talking about what you do to your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he was pretty hardcore. And I see you, AJ. I'm getting your picks real soon.
Oh yeah.
But I have to click off. What did I do? Did I just delete everything?
I think you did. Control Z. There you go.
Oh yeah. No, I'm back. I'm not that worried. I'm like, all right, I know the keys, but it's still just a nuisance.
No, I get it.
What do you think about Calvin Candy from Django?
More of a product of the time.
All right. Well, I am kind of.
I think he's absolutely a villain. He's a terrible piece of shit that I'd like to wipe off my boot. But at the same token, there were a lot of them back then. He was not alone in that. He was one of many.
What about Biff?
No, Biff was a moron. Biff was
he was a great villain, though.
He was a great foil for Marty. He was not a great villain.
We do have Walter White up there, but I think if we're going to have a representative, Gus Fring is the best villain on it.
Well, I think both of them deserve it because Walter White became worse than Gus Fring.
Hey, but he redeemed himself in the end, dying for Jesse.
Yeah, he redeemed himself to one person.
But
that doesn't redeem himself to all the hurt he did to everyone else.
I think the true villains, on-screen villains, are in books. If they redeem themselves to their audience, which he did, that's a big thing. And that's why I would argue with you about Dr. Doom, who I think is one of the best villains of Marvel history. But
agreed.
He's redeeming himself to his audience because we know what his motivations are, and they are pure to try and save the world. So, I wouldn't argue if you didn't want to put him on the list.
Yeah, I feel like Walter White deserves to be on this list. I feel like he didn't redeem himself enough. He didn't do enough. He had a logical opportunity to stop, to get out. He had made the money and done what he had said he was going to do. And then he pushed right past that, blew right past that exit, and decided to continue down this dark spiral and broke bad.
He did poison a kid.
Come on.
He
literally killed Jesse's fiance.
All right, I won't argue. She had to go. She had to play Jessica Jones.
She had other things going on.
She was the bee in Apartment 23.
God, I still wish that show had gone better. I love that show.
It was a good show. And what about Alex DeLarge from Clockwork Orange?
From what?
Clockwork Orange.
Product of the time.
Get the fuck. No, they rape and murder. Yeah. That's not a product of the time.
Then he gets completely smoked on his own right. He gets destroyed too. He gets broken.
Yeah, I don't think
a villain. He can't stay a villain because he's destroyed.
No, he does.
And that's half the fucking movie is him getting busted up.
I think you need to watch that movie again.
I think I do too. I don't know. The movie was boring and stupid after a while. I watched it 3 times.
You can hate the movie. You can hate the movie, fine. But I'm sticking by that one. That man is.
All right, look, you're going to force me to rewatch the whole thing, and I will fight you on it. Agreed. This is going to be my sticking point. Good. I was wondering where we were going to have it. I kept looking through the list, going, I don't know that we're going to have really good arguments and back and forth on this, but no, now I know. Now I know.
What do you think about Agent Smith? Dead air, everybody.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a tough one. I don't know. I think he was a great foil for Neo. I think he was a decent villain. I don't know if I would call him the baddest villain. You know what I mean? No. When he transports out of the Matrix and becomes a human, put him in there. Okay. Yeah, he just fits on there. Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm not saying that I love those movies or anything, but I thought he was a really effective villain.
Agreed. Yeah, I'll say he's effective. Yeah.
All right.
Christoph
Waltz, Master for me is too sympathetic. Now, he does some evil things, but now Missy, not all forms are bad, and you have to consider all forms.
Yeah, fair. No, you know what? Master is not on the list. You're right.
What about Bill Cutting from Gangs of New York?
Product of the time and place?
You got to stop the product and the time and place. We're talking about movies. We're talking about books. So it's not because the movie wasn't made in the time. It was just he was a character within that time, and he was the villain. Now, I'm not saying he needs to be on the list, but saying a product of the time.
Yeah, fair.
Hitler was a product of his time.
I get it. And I don't like him as that. I think he was another good foil. I don't think he was a villain.
I still maintain that foils are villains because depending on the story, not all villains are going to be sadistic, but they are going to be foils and play it up. You know, like kids' movies especially show us this. But let's do some video games. We both have Bowser on there. I did not put Shao Kahn on there.
Okay. Do you think Shao Kahn should be on there?
No, it's a stupid choice. No, I'm just kidding. Robotnik is on there. Bowser's on there.
Good.
I didn't. I don't know. I was thinking about it because he doesn't pop up in a lot of places.
He's just kind of the head of the whole thing, and his whole idea of the tournament is, yeah, if you fight my best people, we won't take your land, and then they always lose, so he gets to destroy their world and just pair them up with his shadow army. So
it's true. Zach fucking Morris should be.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He wanted all the power in this.
Boom. Boom.
That's true. Okay, that is true. He did have Gus killed for that reason.
Ding, ding, ding,
And he played it well. So I didn't put a lot of video game characters on Donkey Kong because I think in that first one, Donkey Kong was a good villain.
True, but then we have Donkey Kong, country, and he becomes someone different. He redeems himself.
All right, fair. But video game wise, you're going to be the guy to go with.
So Kefka from Final Fantasy VI is of all the Final Fantasy villains is the best one. That's probably your biggest heavy hitter.
Well, out of the ones you have here, so you would think Kefka should be on the list?
Yeah, Kefka absolutely.
Right. Not saying that nobody else can be. I'm just saying.
No, yeah. Gladys from Portal. She's the AI who basically follows you around and is just running experiments on humans. Just awful. There's no.
Listen,
that
doesn't make you bad. You're AI. You're just trying. Can AI be bad?
Yes.
All right. Well, then shut up.
Skynet. Of course, AI can be bad. Skynet.
They're not bad. They're just you guys suck, so we're gonna kill you all.
Oh, I don't know.
And they're not wrong.
Look, the way they got there, I'm with them. But
what about John Doe from Seven? What do you think about that? I think he'd be an effective villain. He was.
He was a good villain. He was a good villain. He was just doing his thing and getting everything he wanted. And he did. He was successful.
Yeah, he did succeed. And I think that should be an element of the fight.
And if you are able to turn the hero to the villain, does that make you a better villain?
I think that makes you a very effective villain.
Yes.
And I also have Judge Doom on here from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's a good one. Yeah, I'd go with Judge Doom.
I feel because he not only was he a psychopath, but he wasn't really a psychopath. He just was a toon, and he was hiding.
Yep.
So it's just he was a product of his environment.
Thank you. So Vox Montenegro from Far Cry, one of probably the more well-known villains from all of the video game world, and Far Cry 3 specifically being one of the better video games.
Okay.
So he was a huge reason for that. So really like him.
Are you a Dragon Ball Z fan?
I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan.
What do you think about Frieza?
Frieza's all right, but he turns around and winds up having a kid with Bulma, and he winds up befriending everybody. I don't see Frieza. Oh, wait. Sorry, I said Vegeta. Frieza, yeah, Frieza should be on there.
Yeah, I put him on my list.
Yeah, Frieza can go on there. I see that. And the last one I really want to argue for would be Handsome Jack from Borderlands.
Okay.
I feel like he needs to be on there. He hooks his daughter up to a machine so that way he can try to communicate with these things called vaults so he can just get richer. So he's a pretty jacked up dude.
Yeah, that sounds like a Saturday night for villains.
Slightly, yeah.
All right. Do you think Q is a villain?
Who?
Q.
No. Q's trying, because Q even admits in the next gen finale, he talks about how this is a game for him, but it's also he wants to see them win. He doesn't expect them to win every time, but he wants to see them come out ahead, and he's always kind of rooting for them secretly and quietly in the best way he can. So no, Q has too many versions of Picard. Well, look, hey man, I'm already through episode 1. That's as far as I've gotten. I love it so far. I mean, I cried when I saw Guinan, bro. I did, straight up.
And look at it, 10 forward.
Dude, yep, at 10 forward. Guinan was the reason I wanted to be a bartender. I love the aspect of being able to interact with people, being able to work with people, being able to talk to people, the socialization, being able to provide a great time for people or provide an ear to listen to. I love that part of it. So, yeah.
AJ, I like your choice for Patrick Bateman, but Patrick Bateman, is he a villain? Because at the end, you're questioning if any of this actually happened. if he actually did do any murdering. But at the same time, it also falls into that realm of horror movie villain, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just what it's for, and I don't know that I would add him just yet. Now I would add Jafar from Aladdin.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Jafar is a great one because Jafar was only interested in himself, and consequences be damned for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that's number 40. We got to power through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's go.
Let's power through, and whatever we haven't added yet, so let's look at the names. You look at my list, I'll look at your list.
Yep. Deal.
Right, Hannibal Lecter, I agree with.
Okay.
Darth
Vader, I feel like we got too much of his backstory and too much of his future story. I can't put him on my list.
Really? All right.
Yeah. The Emperor, absolutely. The Emperor deserves to be on there because he's the one who twisted Vader. That's why.
Yeah, no, but when we saw that Vader's the birth of a villain,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a very effective villain.
He was, but that was only because he was used and swayed by the Emperor. The Emperor's villainy and the Emperor's using of him as a means to an end. No, Norman Osborn, 100%. Thanos.
Norman Osborn's on there.
Yeah. Marvin Harry, never.
Come on, they tried to murder a child.
But they were so wildly unsuccessful. I don't know if they deserve it.
See, I can't put Pazuzu on there because it's a classification of evil, but the demons are just acting out naturally like an animal would.
Well, that's very true. And that's why I don't like the idea of the Reagan McNeils being on people's villains list, because I'm like, she was possessed. It's not even her. It's Pazuzu. Yeah. And it's not even really Pazuzu. Pazuzu's just a demon. So you might as well just say every fucking demon. Demons everywhere, people.
I think Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop belongs on that list.
Okay, look, I was going to bring this up because I think entities as well, like OCP, Shinra from Final Fantasy VII. So I'm good with Clarence Boddicker going on that list. It's absolutely fine with that.
I would agree with you about OCP, but if we ever do a bracket where it's like evil organizations or companies,
yeah, no, I like that.
It's too broad, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. The Frank Underwood, obviously.
Frank Underwood's on there. I think we both had him.
Yeah, Sauron.
Oh yes, I have Sauron.
Sauron is brilliant.
Where did I put him? So Sauron, Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. I have.
Oh, I saw that. Yep.
What do you think about him? He was a villain.
Yeah, he really was actually. He was a solid villain too.
Because he would let people go if they won.
Yeah.
So he's just like his
but that's
motivation.
Chaos. And that's what was my struggle with Two-Face. When you're that chaotic, you can wind up chaotic good accidentally. You know what I mean? So even though he didn't mean to, he does non-villainy things. So chaos always it's a tough part in there. And I have no problem adding him though.
Here's two that I want to try and sell you on. First is Hades from Hercules.
Fun.
Just because he tries to murder his baby nephew.
I get it. It's also, he is a god, and he was given that specific sect, but it's always his jealousy that plays into it. Hence why I thought about Loki as well.
Yeah, but if we're not putting Darth Vader on there, we can't put Loki.
Exactly. Oh, 100% agree.
And I put Darkness from Legend.
Ooh, yeah. I am darkness.
I
loved him so much. I mean, obviously, Mia Sara in the black dress is pretty much, that's when I became a man. But
it's very fair.
Darkness is incredible.
Shredder's on there. I put Warden Norton from Shawshank Redemption. What do you think?
No.
Okay. Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man?
Nope.
And Morton Joe
Maniac.
How about
Gordon Gekko? Gordon Gekko, absolutely. He was ruining lives just to get money. So yeah, fuck that guy.
I did not add Gordon Gekko, so I'm fine with that. Let's do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what you said.
No. I said Immortan Joe.
Okay.
He's from Mad Max, Fury Road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could use him. I think you could use I don't know if you could use Tina Turner from Thunderdome because she was kind of defending Bartertown.
That was her kingdom,
her domain.
Not saying
she may have been an awful ruler who was doing terrible and enslaving things and just bad, but she was working as head of a town.
Norman Bates is hard, but he humanized that character. Very true, but I think Norman Bates isn't so much the villain, and they showed that in the second one. Now, yes, he's a killer.
Yeah.
He's a product of his environment. I'm sorry, I had to.
No, dude, keep using it because it just makes me feel better like I was right.
Bob, 100%. Shown up from The Last Dragon.
Are we not the baddest?
Dude, I'm putting it on.
Yeah, he's got to be.
We have enough.
We have Is that 64?
No. I meant we have enough spaces.
Oh.
Show enough.
Show enough.
What do you think about Megatron?
No. Megatron was defending his people. It's the same issue I have with Black Adam. There was a greater good they were fighting for. It wasn't our greater good. We weren't on that side. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean the other people didn't revere him as a hero. And when you find out the story of Megatron, he's sympathetic as shit, man. That he was actually the lower caste versus the primes. And he was trying to get the lower caste to just be seen as equals. They were slaves, for crying out loud.
What do you think about Boyd Crowder from Justified? Yeah,
you put him on there. I love Boyd Crowder. I love him as a villain. And at the end, he Loki's his way through everything. He always has the opportunity to do the right thing, and he consistently fails to do it.
I put Violator from Spawn on there.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I'll come back. We'll circle back around.
Yeah, let's circle back on that one.
Benjamin Linus from Lost?
No.
Negan?
No.
All right.
Negan has way too big of an arc now. He's now a fucking good guy. So.
I don't know. I'm just sort of just all over the place, to tell you the truth. We're almost there, though. We're not too far. Mother Gothel from Tangled.
Oh, yeah. She's got to be on there. She's a pure villain. Yep.
That is a straight-up villain.
Mother Gothel, pure villain.
All right, we're almost there. 51. We don't have that much. 13 more.
Did you add Hans Gruber in there?
I didn't. Yeah, because I think we both had him.
Okay, good. Yeah, we both had him.
Yeah, Hans Gruber's on there.
Yep.
So I had Moriarty. I did not add Pennywise. I can if you want to.
See, Pennywise to me is an entity that just feeds and eats and enjoys pulling out the fears in others. So it's kind of difficult. Like, he's not good because he's an entity that is always feeding. So I call it evil. I say, yeah, let's throw it on as villain. Pennywise villain.
Okay. Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction. That's a good one.
Okay. I'm going to bring this up. I have a problem with this one because Michael fucking Douglas created Alex Forrest. His character cheated on his wife, created that open line of communication, hurt this woman, and then her reaction, as terrible as it was, and the terror that it created from that, the simple fact is the match point was something he did and caused her to be that way towards him.
That's fair. I it's hard to argue with it. She was an effective villain, but she was created by the protagonist of the story.
Exactly.
Thulsa Doom. I have to say put on there from Conan.
Yes. 100% Thulsa Doom needs, man. First of all, James Earl Jones with that fucking sexy hair, man. His hair was gorgeous.
Jesus. He has the hair of like a pinup model.
Mm-hmm. Like I wish I could have had that hair. I couldn't. I was unable. I was highly unsuccessful. So I finally cut my hair.
Let me circle back around to Alex Forrest.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Yes, she may have been created by the protagonist, but now that I think about it, but that doesn't diminish that she is a villain. Just because you feel sympathy that she was created by, many heroes are created by the villains, and also vice versa. So should we count any of them out because they were created by? Should we count the Joker out because he was created by Batman in '89 Batman? I don't think so. It's a fine line, and I do feel
it is interestingly so. I just don't know that Alex Forrest achieves that level, and maybe because I'm looking at it on a more macro stage and not as micro. So yes, what Alex Forrest did to him, if she were going to continue doing to others, I think lends her more to the villain category. outside of that, she's a horrifying antagonist to a not really lovable protagonist.
Well, we are at 53, so we have 11 more to go. Let's muscle through real quick.
Yep. Did we add Angelus or Angel?
He's on there.
Okay.
Voldemort.
Voldemort needs to be on there. Yep.
Voldemort. How about Nurse Ratched?
No.
Why? She was
why?
She was a pissed off hospital employee.
Yeah.
Why the hospital employees can't be the villains? Come on.
And hospitals were shit back then. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they exactly were working with the strongest stuff. I'm pretty sure they were still shooting mercury into people back in those days.
Fair.
Professor Zoom, do you have him on there?
Who?
Professor Zoom.
I do not. Professor Zoom stinks.
I'm sorry, he killed Iris.
So?
Or would you rather have Reverse Flash?
I'll put Professor Zoom on there.
What about?
I don't think he's an effective comic book villain in my opinion.
I completely understand. What about Red Skull?
No, Red Skull sucks.
Wilson Fisk.
Wilson Fisk's on there. Kingpin's on there. Okay. Here's my argument though, and I feel like it's a valid argument. Red Skull before the movies was not really an effective villain or somebody that was looked on as one of the best villains of all time.
Oh no, he lost all the time because Captain America has to beat the Nazis, and Red Skull was that.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, I don't think he was like. There's so many other comic book villains that like Magneto deserves to be on that list.
I disagree. I think if you were on Magneto's side, everything he did for the mutants, and by the end, his death is literally saving humankind. Like he sacrifices himself for humans. So no, I think he has to. I don't think he can be that.
He's an effective villain for like 45 years.
I mean, fair. You can put him on the list. I'm cool with Magneto being on the list because
you know what? I am going to put Magneto on the list only because if he goes out during the fight, then he goes out.
Yeah, that's the thing. What about Norman Osborn? He's on there for?
He's on there.
Okay,
he's definitely on there because there's no redeeming quality.
Got to be on there. Not a single one. Vandal Savage. Did you put him on there?
I did not.
Okay, Vandal Savage was an immortal who at any time could have helped humanity and pushed us forward, and instead all he did was, bring us down and hunt. It's like he's a piece of garbage.
You're not wrong. What do you think about what Bub says about Mumra or Gargamel?
Gargamel, I have a tougher time putting on there, but Mumra, absolutely. I think Mumra.
Yeah, if Shredder's on there, I get that.
Yeah.
Hector Barbosa from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Nope. I would put Davy Jones on there.
I think Davy Jones maybe, and Davy Jones even has a small amount of redemption associated with him to the point where he almost becomes an entity who is at the behest of the will of the sea goddess.
But that doesn't mean that you're not a villain. Look at Thanos in the comics.
Yeah, but see, Thanos made his choices. Thanos decided that he had to wipe out half of all existence. You know what I'm saying? And then he fought to that end.
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the comics.
What about it?
He decided to wipe out half of all existence in the comics, but he did it just to impress Death.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
That wasn't, hey, I'm trying to make things better because this is what I truly believe. Like the movies did that.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's an effective villain as well, because there is something to a villain who truly believes in what he's doing and believes he's right.
Conviction doesn't make you less villainous. I mean,
but I feel like
if you can justify your means, you will to any end. But
I feel like we kept a lot of people off because of that factor.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Maybe that was a little bit wrong. Bonnie and Clyde should be on there.
They're terrible. They're not villains. They just suck.
Dude, they murdered people just for fame and money.
So
and they
everybody
didn't get that much money. So Babyface Nelson too. But
I'll put them on. I don't think they're going to last long against whoever.
Probably not. The evil queen in Snow White tried to kill her daughter because she was prettier than her.
I noticed you have a lot of killing daughter stuff.
Yeah, anyone who was trying to murder family members, it seemed to be. That was my focus on the villain side. I'm like, this is the worst thing you can do is hurt a child. You destroy innocence. So anyone who destroyed innocence really had to. I powered on my list.
I'll put it up. as you know, then Noah Cross belongs on that list from Chinatown and what he did to his daughter and what he's trying to do to his granddaughter.
You are actually 100% correct. Yep. I'm with you.
He's like the Gordon Gekko of the 20s, and what he was doing to his kids or his 40s, really, is what it was. But
did you put Marco Inaros from The Expanse?
No, because he sucks. But fine, I'll put him.
No. Okay, better option. How about the gentleman from Buffy?
I'll put him on there. They're an effective villain.
That was an effective villain.
I think personality goes into it.
Okay.
And they don't have a lot.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're not one-dimensional, but they're also not quite as one-dimensional as a Jason Voorhees. They're not a vengeance demon. They're going out and taking things just because.
They were like a Freddy Krueger type entity.
Yeah. I could see that.
Put him on the list for sure.
Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead. Merle Dixon.
I would rather put Henry from Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer on there. He was much more of an effective villain than Merle. Yeah. Merle was just a dirty racist.
Yeah, fair. Go. I was trying to find someone. The aspect I was looking at with Merle was that he never, with all the opportunity he had, he never got better. He never became better. He never rose above. He never recognized the issue and went, "You're right. I've been a dick. Let me be better." He never does that.
I would maintain that. I think Vic Mackey does belong in there. He was a really terrible.
Yeah, that is the funny thing is he was awful the whole way through, and every time he even tried to do something redeeming, it somehow blew up in his face, figuratively and literally, and kind of changed things. So
and he was destroying lives while thinking he was doing.
The whole time he's thinking he's a good, just man, and he's just dragging people through the mud.
Bob says Sabretooth over Magneto show up every year just to kick Wolverine's ass on his birthday. That was pretty funny.
I mean, I did love that part. That was pretty solid. And I did think about Sabretooth. My problem with Sabretooth is I didn't feel he was ranging enough. Another macro-micro situation where when it comes to the him and Wolverine story, absolutely. But that's more of a foil rather than being a true villain.
Yeah. Well, we have two more. I say we each pick one, and that will be that.
Okay. So, I'm going with Sylar from Heroes.
Sylar from Heroes. All right, I'll add yours. And you're not going to like mine, but I cannot do a villains list without him because I do think he was, even just originally, a truly effective villain. And he tortured his daughter, and that is Darth Vader.
All right.
He did loses in the first round.
I didn't think about that. That was pretty brutal. He didn't know it was his daughter, so does that make it okay? Yeah, I guess we'll have to have that battle during the showdown.
Wait, did I fuck up? Is it 65 because it's one down?
Yeah, you remember the one on top. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that's our 64, everybody. I'm very excited about that. If you guys are listening to the podcast, I know that picking out this thing, there might have been a lot of pauses and stuff like that. Please bear with us. Next week it will go by pretty fast because we'll be jumping right back in and kind of debating. So please, if you want to join the live show, make sure to just jump in and you can vote during the live show for who should move on. Again, also, if you want to vote for the Lifetime Achievement Award on the Snobbie Awards, head over to our social media. After the show, I'll post it up there in a little bit, and you can just start voting. I want to thank my co-host, Casey, and congratulate him on his nominations. But before we go, I do have a couple of things to kind of throw your guys' way. We are still running a contest for subscribers. We are 51 subscribers away from 500.
Woo!
Halfway to that 1,000, and once we get to the 500, of course, we are going to be one lucky sub will win this Mandalorian Din Djarin pop with Baby Yoda. I'm upping the ante for 600. We're going to be doing a giveaway at every a prize giveaway at every 100. So that will be at 500. Then at 600, we'll be doing this Funko Pop pin, the Deceased Joker GameStop exclusive pop pin. And I'm upping the ante on this one. A Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn 2 pop set of them getting their haircuts.
That's
You'll be able to win that as well. So one lucky winner at 600 will get that. And then at 700, the Marvel Lucha Libre edition pops. You get 3 pops, 3 big pops, and there's a little pop in there, a keychain pop, and you get some stickers. So it's pretty rad. Very cool stuff. So, and there's a chase in there, so that's pretty awesome. So, guys, and we will be doing giveaways at 800, 900, and 1,000. They'll get bigger, and it will be a lot more fun. So please make sure that you are subscribing. Please make sure that you are, watching, listening, rate, rank, review. Everywhere that you are, we're all over the place. We truly appreciate it. And tell your friends if you have a good time with it. So
we'd appreciate that very much.
Yes, we truly do. AJ, thank you for staying the whole time. Bub, thank you for joining in. Everybody else who joined in tonight, we had a great time. We appreciate how you guys support us and everything that goes on. If you guys are interested in joining our Discord to continue conversations there, we are also looking for moderators. AJ is a fantastic moderator, but we're probably going to need a few more just because we're getting a little bit bigger. And then I've had to kind of take a step back with the Snobbie Awards and stuff like that. But yeah, go over to thescenesnobs.com. You can join up there. And we have a Patreon and we have a merch store and the whole 9. Our Patreon, you get exclusive stuff like that. And we're going to be doing a prize giveaway soon. Some nobodies joined in. We caught the noms. Oh, thank you very much. And congratulations on your nominations, guys. Be sure to check out the Snobbie Awards this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be hosting and we'll find out the winners of everybody. And if you are interested in being a presenter, please let me know. You can message me everywhere. We have contacts and links all over social media and our email and stuff like that. But until next time, Casey, take it away, my friend.
My friend, it's a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you for joining us here on whether it was this Tuesday evening or whenever you happen to be listening to us, because we're a podcast and you can do that. We're grateful as always for all of your support. Thank you so much. Remember to be kind to yourself, to love yourself, and to be kind to each other. Thank you. Good night.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, Mick's movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.
I will be pantsless, or will I? You'll have to tune in to find out.
Shit, if you just watch, I'll just get naked. Or I won't. Or I'll put more clothes on if that's your thing.
Ooh, so many options. Don't miss us Sunday the 27th.
I'll show you where he shaved me.